Hi guys, my name is Jenoah and today we are going to start with creating our own membership website. So this website will contain the ability to create users, to log in, to personalize a user's profile page and all the default stuff like a home page and all of these items. Let me first point out this is not a beginner tutorial, so if you do not have any experience, then I'm sorry, this is not the video for you, because we are going to use some terms that you might not have heard before and then probably not understand. But if you do have a little bit or in your opinion enough knowledge, please continue watching the video and let's start. So although this is not a beginner tutorial, we are going to start from scratch. So let's start with booting up your favorite editor and in my case this is Brackets. I'm going to start with creating a new file which is called index.php. And for those who do not know what this means, index is the file that your web server will automatically see as the first page. So whenever you enter a website, this is the first page which will load up, and the .php extension indicates that we are going to write in a language called PHP, and this is so that we can make connection to a server which you are going to host locally, and this is necessary in order to give users the ability to create custom fields and custom information and insert that into the server so that the information is not stored client side but server side. We've created a new file, and in order to see the file you need to have a program which is a local server. So in my case this is XAMPP, and XAMPP has the ability to manage a local server which can run the files and also run a MySQL database. So just start those, the Apache and the MySQL, and let's start. We're going to start with creating the HTML parts, and in these HTML parts we are obviously going to give our site the mostly visual look, because the PHP will give more functionality. In the HTML we are going to create two other tags, which are the head tag and also the body tag. And in the head tag we are going to create another tag which is the link tag, and we are going to link a style sheet. So rel equals style sheet and href equals style.css, and style.css does not exist yet, so we are going to create that in just a moment. We've linked the file, and now we are going to give a title to our page, and this is our membership website. And let's preview. Let's reload, and as you can see there's nothing on the page yet, but the title does work, which indicates that our files can be found. And in order to see your file, you, in case you have XAMPP, you can go to localhost and then select the folder in which you have created the index file. If you need to know more about the usage of XAMPP, please use their documentation. Okay, so we created this, and now in the body let's create a header. And in order to do this we are going to create a div, and this div will have a class. No, not create a header. Let's do create a header. So we are going to create a div with a class which we are calling header, and in here we are going to create an h1 tag, and this h1 tag will contain the words our membership website. And we are doing this so that everyone who enters the website knows that this is the website, our membership website. And obviously you want to insert your own website name, but this is just so that the person who enters knows, okay, this is our site. Now let's refresh, and you immediately see that this works. And as a tip, I want to give you a tip that you should check your website every now and then, and not just write a whole piece of code, but just keep checking with every little adjustment you make. Because with PHP and JavaScript, if something doesn't work, then you might need to look for a very long time if you haven't kept checking when the website did work. I hope that was clear enough. Anyway, this is the title, and it doesn't look very good. So let's create our new file, which is style.css. And in our style.css, we first of all are going to give our body a few options. And the first option, I meant properties, not options. So the first property, it will be the margin to 0, or it was the padding. I'm sorry, I forgot. But anyway, just set the margin to 0 so that you do not have a white outline. And let's give it a background color. And one of the nice things that you can do with this program is whenever you select a color, you can right click and click on quick edit and just select a color. Well, I like the color blue, but I want blue to be my foreground color, so I'm going to select a lighter version of blue. I do not know if this is too blue, because in here it looks just like light blue, but whenever it is full screen it will be very in your face. So just go a bit lighter than you think. So this might be better. We've now got this. Let's preview, and as you can see, it is bluer than I thought, but it worked. Our margin is gone, so as you can see, there's no space at the side of our screen, and that is what I intended to do. And we have changed the background, and now let's go and create the header class. So let's create the header and give it the properties of background color of let's say another blue, or maybe no, I don't want to go too over the top, so let's just keep it at this. Give it a width of 80%. Then give it a margin of, let's say, 2%, and also so that it will be centered, and a padding of 5%. I think this is way too big, but we will see in a moment. And let's center the text. So now we have this. This is way too big, but this is kind of what I intended. So I wanted a blog with a title. Let's shrink this down for now. 1% padding. That is way better. And this is the contents area. So we now have our header. And let's go and create some space in which we can actually display some content. I'm going to create 2 additional divs, and I want to create a div which goes from around here to the bottom right corner, and one that goes from around here to where the other starts with a bit of margin. And this is so that we have a sidebar and a content area, and in the sidebar you will have some user specific items, and in the content area obviously you have the content of your website and maybe a user feed or whatever. Let's create the sidebar. So we are going to create a class with sidebar, and the sidebar will also have the same background color, and I might change this later. I am not sure yet. I probably will. Give it a width of 10% and a padding of 1% as well. Then a margin of now I need to calculate. That is 10%. Yeah, let's just say margin is 5%, 5%, 5%, 10%. I think this will be good, and the height will be 40%. Now let's add this into our website. Create another div with the name sidebar. Add something in there. Hello user. And now we are going to do the exact same, but for a bigger area. So content, give it the same background color. Then we need to give it a width of 80 minus 10, which is 70, but we do have padding, so let's give it like a width of 60, and then figure out the margins in a minute. The padding will also be 1%, margin will be 1%, then at the right it will have 9% as well. At the bottom it will have 5%, and at the left it will 5%. Let's see what that does, and the height will also be 40%. And obviously we cannot see it because we haven't added it in our website. So let's add that as well and give it the class of content and create a h2 tag which will contain contents. As you can see, it doesn't go right beside it, and that is because we need to set it to a float. So float left, and this will be float right. And let's hope it doesn't interfere with the header. Okay, give me a second. The problem here was that I had too much margin, so obviously it couldn't fit not right beside it, but this is our content for now. This is the content which we are going to use for the next tutorial. In the next tutorial we will be going more in depth with the PHP because this was just the basic layout, but this can be useful for you if you want to just make exactly the same and then modify it. So this is why this tutorial is here. So in the next episode we will proceed with our website. Thanks for watching, and please watch the next episode if you want to learn more. Also please leave a comment on which I can make some future tutorials, and subscribe if you would like more of these tutorials. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.